We live?
We live, baby.
What is that?
I don't know.
Originally, I started it so that he could line up the audio. Because our buddy Nick told us to do it. I mean, he didn't say clap like we have autism. What? Kyla? Bro, look at your hair, dude. It's probably just because you cut bangs. Makes it look like puffy in the front. Looks better now.
Put a hoodie on.
Every morning I get asked, how do I look? I'm like, you sure do.
I would just look at her and be like, you don't start with me, bro. I'm already having a bad day. I'm not trying to ruin yours. You want to welcome?
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Unemployable Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Marquis from Allegory. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I've been looking forward to this one all week.
Me too. I'm excited for this one.
We bring on a lot of guests. Most of them I don't like.
Or aren't that
Marquis,
important.
though, fucking hate. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I fucking love Marquis.
Yeah. Nah, I fuck with you too. John's like one of the only artists that texts me. I'm like, okay, I really got to reply to this message. Like we text, but it'll be like an hour gap. Like I know he's tattooing, I'm working, but I'm like, I got to reply to this message because I know this message.
What if Cam texts you?
I'd reply to Cam too. Yeah. I fuck with Cam. Cam reps hard, so.
Cam does.
I love
rap,
Allegory.
Yeah.
You guys are cool as fuck. Super cool company.
You know, try to be
Why?
different.
Why are they cool?
I don't know. I feel like most companies would like overlook somebody in my position, but Allegory's shown me love. So
Alright,
it's been
that's
cool.
a reason to be cool. Yeah, we just came back from Philly, which was sick. I had a blast.
It was actually my first time liking Philly.
I remember you said that. Yeah. And I had wrote off conventions, I don't know, years ago. I was like, nah, conventions are for me. I hate them. They're too much work. People suck, whatever. And then we agreed to do that. Even before we went, like I was on podcast, like I'm not looking forward to this, you know. Had a blast, dude. Had so much fun with you guys. And I'm like, yeah, let's do more, you know.
Yeah.
So that was, how did it go for the company?
Honestly, it went like really good. Like I thought it was gonna be okay, but it went like better than like I even expected.
And because you were releasing the new Ultra Black, right? The darker black.
Here.
What's that?
I should have brought a bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
You got some around here.
You can Photoshop it in.
Yeah. Right here.
I didn't realize how much of that stuff falls on you.
Yeah.
Bro, you run that shit, which is cool, man. And like I was even noticing like everyone, most people, let's say most people there, including myself, anytime we needed something done or there was questions about anything, you were the guy.
Yeah.
Like you knew what was going on, set up, you know, shipping, getting everyone together, plans. So that was cool, dude, because you crushed it.
Honestly, like conventions bring me joy. I don't know, maybe because I'm not a tattooer.
Yeah.
I don't gotta go and like stress out and like tattoo somebody there. I just gotta set up, sell, meet new people, make connections, like enjoy it some type of way.
Yeah.
So honestly, like leading up to conventions is like just in my head, like a checklist. Like now I actually do like a physical checklist because the mental checklist is just not working anymore.
Right.
But I don't know. It makes me really happy. Yeah.
Y'all forget shit when I do the mental checklist. I have to write it down.
I don't, but like when you're writing stuff down, you're like, oh shit, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. So
Right.
yeah.
How many conventions have you guys done since Philly?
Since Philly?
Yeah, just the anime one?
Yeah,
or?
just the anime convention. It was dope. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a little
was
slow
like-
though, right?
It was
But
slow
traffic-wise?
for certain people. So it's
Okay.
like traffic wise, yes. Like you don't have like the audience for like just people walking around. It's Miami, so everybody has like different stuff to do. Like
Where you guys were, though, was probably the best place you could be in that convention. Because you went towards the back and it was dead.
so that convention, it was dope because there was a stage in the middle. And usually in a convention, like the stage is like far as hell. New York is going to be dope because the stage is on the second floor and it's 3 stories. So it's like
That's
kind
right.
of in the middle.
Cool.
Yeah. So I walked in. I'm like, damn, like, are we in the back or in the front? We're like in the same aisle as the stage. So it was
Nice.
dope. Yeah.
You made it out there. I didn't to the anime one.
Listen, I'm at the booth and somebody's like, "Hey, are you guys from Borrowed Time?" Like, I'm just working. And I hear it out the side of my head. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like him and Adrian. I'm like, wow, y'all really have fans out here.
Adrian was getting stopped for sure.
That's sick. I'm happy
Yeah,
for Adrian because he is like one day away from
Ending it all.
Kim's words, not mine. No, that is.
Adrian
that is
had
cool.
fun. It made Adrian like really excited for New York. Yeah, he needs stuff like that though. It's good for him to get out.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah.
And I think one of the major benefits from the convention was like inspiration.
Oh yeah,
In a million different avenues, not just like the artwork, but networking, you know, meeting new people, even inspired to do another convention
Exactly, yeah.
or, you know, whatever. There's the awards and that kind of stuff, which is cool. You know, another, I mean, I don't give a shit, but
Award-winning
other people
artist.
think it's cool. So all that stuff is great. Now, just for people that don't know, what is your title and what is the company you work for?
All right, so I work
Tell me a
for
little bit about
Allegory
that.
Ink. If you haven't heard of it, you heard of it now. Allegory Ink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you haven't heard of it, you're not paying attention.
No, you're not paying
They
attention.
haven't watched a single episode yet.
Marketing director, creative director. Basically, like, they brought me in to just take Allegory to the next level. Like,
In
as
every
you know,
aspect?
In every aspect.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, they don't really tell me no. Like, any aspect of the company as far as like sales, marketing, product development, sponsorship, product testing, ideas for new products, like anything. They let me do anything they support me on.
Right.
So I don't know, just like a little bit of everything.
Cool. And how long you been there now?
8 months, something like that.
Nice. All right, so you're settled in.
Yeah. I fuck with it really heavy. Hold on, I can't really curse on here, right?
I curse.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And where were you before that?
FK.
And what about before that?
Before that, I was in school, FIU.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, I started working at that other company while I was in like my last year of college.
Yeah, because I noticed you know everyone, right?
Yeah.
How long were you at FK?
3.5 years.
All right, so a while.
Since 2019 January.
Yeah.
I just made my 4th year in the tattoo industry.
And I feel like a big part of your job is networking.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So when we go to the convention, you know everyone. It means you're good at your job.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I care about the sales and all that, but at the end of the day, like, I really care about like the art and the artist.
Right.
So like, if you like meet good artists or just like you become friends with them, like, yo, I'm not even trying to sell you on this product. I want you to use it because it's good.
Right.
It's gonna make your work better.
No,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
noticed that at the convention, man.
Yeah.
It was very much like artists would come up and you guys were like, here's a bottle, try it.
Yeah.
You be the judge.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the sales pitch, which I love.
Let the product do the
Yeah.
talking, pretty much.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been doing conventions for 4 years. I don't sell to people.
Right.
Like, if you don't want to buy it, all right.
Yeah.
Go buy it. Go somewhere else because you're gonna buy it later. So if you don't buy it now, you're gonna buy it eventually. So, you know, and tattoo artists are pretty hard headed. So once they say no,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not trying to force it on you, but you're gonna buy it and you're gonna use it eventually.
Yeah, and there's it's strange because, let me. How did you decide what products you were gonna use?
I just copied everything you did, to be honest.
No, yeah. I mean, me too. Like, I'll copy other artists. I'll see other things in the shop.
I would like look at like how shit healed though. Like I'd like take other things into like consideration.
Well, is there anyone in the shop that doesn't use Allegory?
Yeah, there was plenty of dudes in here that were using like dynamic and
Okay.
that don't anymore. You know.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Sounds good.
Plenty. I know people. There's people that are using like. There's people that are using like Zuper and stuff.
Oh, that shit is trash.
Well,
bro.
yeah, but
have
like-
you ever tried that Super Black? You seen it?
I've
It's like-
seen
it's
it.
like acrylic-
black as
it's like
fuck.
acrylic paint, though.
It is dark.
Intense. Yeah, it's just really thick.
It comes out
it's
like
fucking-
penning.
Yo, it's like
Yeah.
acrylic, bro.
And then it's just like chunk dust. It's like
it's
Ovaltine.
gross.
So like, a wild thing is like, I've met artists that are like, well, I like that thick ink.
Yeah.
I'm used to that. I'm like, so just try this.
Right.
And you're going to like this. And then you're going to like how it works and like how it heals. And
I guess
they're always like, okay, yeah, this is a lot better.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, because I use some products that I know are really just as good or just as bad as like any other product.
Yeah.
It's just what my like brain tells me I should use. Like sometimes it don't even make sense. Like sometimes I'll be using a needle or like a cartridge and it's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's an hour into the tattoo, but I've already convinced myself that it's like damaged. It doesn't work. The ink flow's bad, whatever.
dull.
I'll pull out the same needle and I'll be like, oh, much better. And the reality is I don't think there was any difference. It was just like my messed up, sick worm
You're
brain.
an artist, bro. It's just how you work. And if you don't change it, it's going to mess with you the whole
100%, bro. 100%. So the picking of materials or like the it could be a strange process. I wouldn't even know like how to sell that to an artist because you said like there are artists that just have no in their brain, and I can see that. I don't even want to try to guess why the no is in their brain.
Well, sometimes it's just scary to change your setup. Like,
Yeah,
when you're
what
like
if I'm
comfortable,
worse?
yeah, you know, you're comfortable with something. Now you like want me to implicate something brand new, and it gets kind of stressful.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
I've heard some crazy shit like superstition type stuff.
Yeah.
Like I only use this this way and then this, and I need an even number of drops in my fucking gray wash setup.
Yeah, bro.
And
Like your 3 drop of black versus your 5 drop of black. There's no difference.
No,
but you can't tell no one that.
No.
You can't
no. Like how I do it is like, so I've been talking to artists for like the last 4 years. And even before I worked in the industry, I've been getting tattooed for like, I started working at FK 2019. I started getting tattooed in 2014.
Yeah.
So I was already like working, like promoting for tattoo shops, things like that. So like my first tattoo, like I'm like, okay, what's this? What's that? Why is that plugged into that?
Like you were curious.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you haven't tattooed me yet, but when you do,
Yeah.
you'll see, like I'm asking you, well, you already see. I asked you about your whole setup. Okay, what are these 2 caps? What is this?
Right.
Like I always ask questions.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but like, okay, so there's like 2 types of artists. There's like the artists that are like, setup is simple, tattoos are fire. Then there's the artists like, yo, I have 30 ink caps. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't finish
15
this.
needles.
Like, yeah. And then some of them, they're just really good. Like that's just how they work, you know?
Right.
But so everybody's like different.
Especially with the color artists. Their
Oh,
setup
man.
is so crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Like even Nate, he really just uses primaries.
so
and like,
simple
and
for
he
a color
mixes.
artist.
Yeah, but it's still like a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Because
for
I'm
us-
like one machine, one cap, one tattoo, and then the color artist, it's like their setup takes as long as like a tattoo sometimes.
It feels like a lot of waste sometimes.
Yeah,
But it looks
bro.
cool.
They're
like when
using
they
a
have like
lot
the
more
hive caps
product.
and they're like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like visually is appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like a color wheel. You're
Yeah,
like,
like
whoa, that's
3
crazy.
fucking rinse cups.
Yeah, like when you
out.
get those like big pack of crayons when you were younger and you'd open them and it was, you know what I'm talking about? That's what it looks like.
that goes to the whole thing about 2 types of artists, because you'll say like Nate, like he'll get his primary color set and just mix it and make his colors.
Right.
And then there's the artist that like, I need to buy all the colors. Like
Right.
I need to buy a gray
Oh my
wash or I'm gonna
God.
make my own gray wash. So
Bro.
like just 2 types of artists. I
We
guess.
used to have like a community ink thing, like everyone could use it. I forget who it was. It might have been like Eternal or something. But they like
Yeah.
gave us like every color.
Okay.
And it was just this like huge like open cabinet. It was so many inks, dude. I mean, that's maybe it wasn't, but as a black and gray artist, it was like 5. No, it was like 100, bro. And I was like, this is insane. And I would see people like for one tattoo grab like 30 fucking colors.
And it's
I'm
free.
like, what?
It's free.
Right. But it was just like nuts to me because like they'd grab like all the different shades of blue. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, just like mix a little white in, you know, yeah, whatever, like do this, yellow, like make, like what a fucking waste it is. You like, these colors look the same when you hold up the bottles. And they're like, they heal different. I'm like, whatever. Okay, yeah, they do, they
So
do.
that color theory is actually, that's actually real.
Yeah.
Like I learned like purple is one of the hardest colors. Like
Yeah.
you gotta use like magenta or like all these different undertones, stuff like that.
Yo, I watched Nate make purple and it I was like,
Purple is hard, bro.
he
Purple's
blasted
hard.
my knee with purple.
Yeah,
I was
your
like,
color heel's really nice though.
Yeah.
But you say Nate like really gets it in there. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bone and all, baby.
Yeah. That should be mummified on me.
I remember when I would like do color, like people would teach me these little setups that were like cool, you know, whether it was like how to make a hot pink with like red, white, yellow, like that kind of, you know, and this and that. And like once you learn it, you're like, oh, I can get this exact color. That stuff's cool, especially if you're making colors that you don't see a lot.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe now they've kind of bottled everything, but a while ago they hadn't. And it was like, that's sick. I really haven't seen that color on skin a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about. I fucking hate color tattoos.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
What's up?
What's up with this Electrum Ink company? I keep seeing them like everywhere. Like I see a lot of people using them now. I don't know if they're like on the come up or something for color.
Yeah, so they came from Electrum Tattoo Supply. So the owner of Electrum is Christian. He's a guy that throws the anime ink. Yeah.
Okay.
So they had like a dope setup there. They have like some pretty good artists. It's kind of like a different aesthetic, like, you know, kind of feeding into like the like pop and like
Definitely like the anime culture type.
Yeah, like that type of culture. But it's dope. Like
the way they
their lane.
named their colors and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you have to do in this industry. You got to make it different because like there's a million ink companies, and a lot of times you're like ran by like these old like tattooers. It's just what it is. So like they don't want to like change. They don't want to like, you know, try new things. Like that's why it's cool working with Allegory, because like Ben, like he was a tattooer for like 20 years, and like we'll talk about something and I'm like, I think we should try it like this. He's like, all right, cool, let's try that. Like he's down for like any like new thing on Instagram or just new trends, or like let's try this on the website. He's like, fuck it, let's do it, and it works.
Right.
So I mean, not saying like, you know, the older generation like their techniques didn't work, but it's like 2023. You got to switch it up.
We talk about that all the time. Like what should we modernize and what should we keep the same?
Yeah.
Because I think there's things on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, obviously marketing's always changing, and getting involved in the social media scene, or even just new ways to market. I think you have to do that. I think improving on equipment, especially that involves like health, cross-contamination, and safety is a must. You always have to do that. You know, you always have to improve. You always have to upgrade, whatever. But as far as like tradition, respect, maybe history, I think we can't forget those things, you know, and there will be certain instances that like I'll come into where it's almost like a clash. Like both sides kind of have good arguments. You know, like, oh, we should leave this, or no, we shouldn't. And that can be tough sometimes. I think the simplest one is like machines. You know, like I think there still is a purpose to have coil machines and like have that style, and people like it better. Because when the rotaries first came out, everyone, or a lot of people were like, cool, coils are going to be a thing of the past. And obviously they're not. You know, new companies are new coil machine companies, or new coil-like machine companies, or even rotaries designed to look more like old coils. Like we've seen those stay strong, you know? So
like what I've noticed, like in America, I've noticed, okay, there's still like lore to the coil, but it really phased out a lot. But like when I travel, like especially like to Europe, there's a lot of people that use rotary and like Cheyenne, but there's a lot of people that still use coils over there. Like in England,
dude.
Like all the like the real like black workers and shit like that, like they're using fucking coils.
Yeah.
Or they're using like Dan Cubans.
Right.
Which is like, I feel like that's like a good medium, because it's still like hitting hard, but it's not like the whole like crazy setup. It's easy to travel with, things like that. So I actually got to meet him in Philly, and it was dope, because like I was like, I don't know, I was at the Workhurst Irons, and I was just talking about, I'm like, yeah, Dan Cuban. He's like, oh, I'm Dan Cuban.
Oh, really?
Like, oh shit. Nice to meet you, bro. So yeah.
You make sick machines.
And like those machines were like one of the first like rotaries, like 5mm strokes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, like the black workers, or like anyone that's doing like blackouts, or even like neo-traditional, like you want to really pack that shit in there, heavy line work, like you would use those. Even like for like the anime stuff. Because when I started working for FK, I would notice like, okay, I had to learn all the machines. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this one has a circle. Just like, because you're at a convention and you're like 20 feet away from a machine and it's wrapped up.
Right.
You go take me around a convention. I'll look. I'm like, okay, that's a Cheyenne. That's a Bishop.
Yeah.
That's a FK. And then I would see the coils. I'm like, fuck. What are those? And then, like, I had to learn about it and everything. And there's still, like, a lot of people that'll line with the coil. Like, they'll line with the coil and pack with a rotary. And if that's what they're comfortable with, that's what they're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it took me so long to adjust. I wanted to because of convenience. I was like, if I can learn this, it will make my life easier. But it took me 3 months maybe. And the first month of like switching, really just switching to a pen. Yeah, but it felt long. Like while I was transitioning, you know what I mean? Like I would have like a coil out or even just like a rotary, like a Cuban, but I like wanted to get on the pens. I was like, I want to use this for the setup. So I'd leave it on the side and I'd like do whatever with the pen. I'd be like, and then I'd, come back in with the old machine and like clean it up essentially. But that was like a crutch. And then like one day I was like, yo, I just need to not fucking set up the other machine.
Yeah.
I
Can't
need
rely
to
on it.
just use the pen.
And
like I did. And you know what happened?
it was fire.
Tattoo looked like shit.
Nope.
Oh, really?
Fucked it up.
And I was like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta fucking learn this, like I can't. And like I forced myself into it. And I think at the time I've been tattooing 7 years. So I was like, it was tough, because 6, 7 years, you start to get a little comfortable in your industry. You're like, I've been here for, a little bit, enough to not be freaking out every day about my tattoo. And I'm just decided, not only did I decide I wanted to go to pens, I decided I want to do the 3RL shading as opposed to the mag shading. So I was just changing everything, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to relearn how to tattoo.
Yeah, I just opened the shop. My girl and I at the time broke up. I moved.
I'm going to relearn
3RL pen. Yeah, let's fucking change it all. Once I got comfortable with it, and like obviously now that's what I use. Like, dude, I'm so happy with that setup. Just like with a pen rotary setup.
I feel like the biggest thing is like educating yourself on the machine. Cause like if you go from like a heavy hitting coil, you're gonna pick up a pen. Do you know this is a 3.2 or this is a 4, this is a 5?
Break. Wow, this shirt is actually really nice. If you haven't already, you need to check out themodelcitizenapparel.com. It has the best tattoo clothing I've ever seen. And I'm quite a critic when it comes to fashion, clothing, whatever. The design has to be cool and the material has to be comfortable, at least form-fitting. They have a range of styles from vintage to modern. They're continuing to work with new artists featuring new designs and articles of clothing. You need to check out this company, themodelcitizenapparel.com, or you can check out their social media, which is Model Citizen Apparel. It's the best.
So I'm good. All right.
Any closer, you might have got hit.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, because especially in early tattooing years, like I heard everyone was like not everyone, but like some artists were getting sponsored. There were things called pro teams.
Yeah.
There was, and I didn't know much about it at the time. I was just like, wow, that's cool. I would assume if you get sponsored, you're on a pro team, like you're a certain status of artist. This is like an honorable position to have.
Yeah.
But I had no idea how to achieve something like that. And I know, or there has to be other tattooers out there like, yo, how do I get sponsored? And I mean, who better to ask than you?
So like there's a few different ways. Honestly, I like to sponsor people primarily that already use the product and already have like a brand loyalty. Because like I could, sign you, right? And you never use Allegory a day in your life and use Dynamic every day. You're like, fuck it. I just
I'm not gonna do any.
I just want to
repping.
be sponsored by somebody, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I actually like, I'll go on Instagram. I'm like, damn, okay, let me see how long you've been tagging us. You've been tagging us for like a year or two. You actually use the product. You actually use the ink. You know, you actually want to get noticed. My main thing, like, it's really about the style.
Yeah.
Like, and not saying
the
like
style of art.
Yes, like I like to sponsor people that like you do black and gray, but like, is it like stylized? You do, you know, lettering, but is it like, you know, from Google, or did you freehand this lettering? You know what I'm saying? And this is your style. Like, I could look at these letters and I could tell these are like Mystics letters or Mayo, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. Like, I can look at your style. I'm like, I know exactly who did that tattoo. You know, of course, like regular people that don't know artists and they don't know, then she like, they can't tell. But like, I can tell, you know what I'm saying?
You're the one making the choice. So
exactly. But honestly, like, I also like to work with like artists that are just like really good people. Like, I might have met you at a convention and you came over and you're like, yo, I really like your product. And you introduce yourself. You're just like a cool person, you know? And I walked around the convention and I'm like, oh shit, your work is like really good. You're using the machine. Like, yo, like, I would love to work with you. Like, you didn't even like force it on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You came, you introduced yourself, you let me meet you. I'm like, yo, what booth are you at? I'm going to come by, get some content. Like, yo, your tattoos are like fire. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you know, everybody's different. And like, artists are all like really different, you know, and to be real, like a lot of artists, they're a little awkward, you know, they have socially, sometimes it's hard, or just like meeting new people is hard. But I don't know, like, I feel like you just got to be yourself and be original. That's the number one thing, is like originality.
So you're saying personality plays into it along with the art.
Oh yeah, because personality is like, I have to, you know, work with you too. Cause like with me, like sponsorship is not, I'm just sending you ink. Right. I'm actually talking to you like, oh, like I'll see you traveling, like, yo, safe travels, bro. Where are you going to be at? You're going to be guest spotting. Do you need me to send you ink there? Oh, or, you know what I'm saying? You're coming to Miami. I know this shop in Miami, this shop in Fort Lauderdale. Would you like to guest spot? You know what I'm saying? Like building these type of like relationships, because we're a business, they're a business. You know what I'm saying? And we can work together. We can both benefit each other, create some good art, create some good products.
And are there sponsorship tiers? Like, what is sponsorship? Like when you guys decide to sponsor
I've talked
an
to
artist?
people at other companies, and they have like, oh, when you're pro team, we give you a discount code, but when you're sponsored, we send you free, like all this and that. Like with me and how I do it, like if I'm sponsoring you, I sent you a contract. And it's not even saying that like anything crazy legal or anything like that. It's just like of what we expect of you and what we can also provide you.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is really important. Yeah. Because I'll see all these, like, I don't know if it's like new companies or like bad companies, or I don't even know, but they just like sponsor everyone. Yeah,
you're sponsored. Like,
it's like what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, you know, does that mean like you just want me to market for your company with no benefit? And there's no talk about expectations. And honestly, man, I've even had some talks with some big companies about sponsorship, and I'm the one that has to ask, like, what are your expectations? Yeah. I feel like that's what the company should start with. So it's cool to hear, you know, you're saying, you know, listen, first things first, like we talk about expectations. Yeah. And that's where all the problems lie. If expectations are not talked about, everyone's going to get upset or let down or whatever it is.
So like there's a couple artists that I work with that are not on contract. Right. Just because like they don't need to be. Right. Like you, I don't think John's like, I ain't no fucking contract. I sent John the contract. He never signed it.
Did he say? You probably sent it to my email, which I never checked.
Yeah. But see, like, there's people that's not on contract because like you don't have to be. Like you provide like so much support for us. Like, how dare I send you a contract? You know what I'm saying? Or force you like, yo, you need to sign this contract. Like, you know. Sometimes the contract is also good for the artist too, because they see what are my benefits of being sponsored by you. Because at the end of the day, these companies need you more than you need them. Right. And you have to understand that. Like, artists need to learn their worth at the end of the day. Like, you don't have to tag these people. I'm saying, because you could pay for all this stuff. Right. They need you. So see what you're getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? See what they can provide you.
Yeah, and I'll bring that up all the time, honestly, with everyone.
Yeah.
And like you and I have had great talks about it, but I like to find the win-win situation.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if I'm gonna, and dude, I only work with companies that I actually like, and I'll see people work with companies they don't really care about. They just kind of want the notoriety or whatever it is. But I'm so, I don't know if it's lazy, maybe that's a word, but like if I don't have interest in it, I'm not going to do any work, even if I want to. But if I am interested in the product, the idea, or the concept, it won't even feel like work. And I'll do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and like and I get excited, like I want to like track things, and like I also want to make sure that I'm bringing value to the company. Like for example, you know, I asked you guys for a discount code, right?
Yeah.
So we could give that out, so I could mark how many, you know, sales I'm doing, or at least you guys could keep track of that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, John's bringing us business. Doing the conventions together, and like when Cam and I were at the convention with you and Ricky, like I think we did a pretty decent job of everyone that comes up. It's like, yo, have you checked out the new Allegory? Have you done this?
It was so dope. It was so dope. You guys are setting so many people artwork.
Every artist I've
it's
met,
like teamwork.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you guys like provided us like all these comforts and things and support at the convention. So that was like what you guys did, and then, you know, us to return the favor is to market the product. And I think that's a great example of like a win-win.
Yeah.
And I've seen both sides fail on that. You know, I've seen companies not provide anything for artists, and then artists give huge support. I've seen companies provide tons of comforts and marketing, and the artists essentially do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Take it
know?
for granted.
Right, for whatever reason. But you said it, and it's such an important thing on both sides. There's the ability to bring value.
Yeah.
And like if people are not paying attention to that or unaware of that, you're not gonna be able to create that scenario where you're benefiting off each other or helping each other, whatever you want to call it.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, because like all the artists we work with, I'll tell them like, you know, what's your shop? Like we want to also support your shop. Like you have any black and gray artists there, or any artists in general that want to use the ink, we'll send enough for the whole shop to have some ink to use too. You know what I'm saying? We, on our website, like on the blacklist page, like we'll promote your shop, we'll promote your work.
Right.
We're doing a bunch of conventions like every month. Like we want you to come out there, come tattoo with us. We'll take care of you for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like we're doing merch, you know, partner on the merch. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just trying to like do things that like involve the artists. You know, like I've noticed like at my previous company, like sometimes the artists weren't allowed to be involved, and it's like, why?
Involved in what?
A lot.
Oh.
Just like, you know, we don't need the artists involved in this.
Yeah.
We can handle this. And it's like, it's so fun for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I was able to test these 3 samples of this product before it even came out.
Right.
I was like a part of the process. It makes them feel like a part of the product, a part of the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you're sponsored. You're not sponsored just to tag. You're sponsored to actually like contribute. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you think a bad artist but a cool person could get sponsored?
yes.
Wow. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
I would expect no.
Because it's like at the end of the day, you want to build a community, and like some bad artists, like art is subjective also at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like if you're like a good person and like you really rep the brand, things like that, like I'll work with you. You know,
Especially if they're like trying to improve
like,
too.
at the same time, you might be bad right now, but I see the vision. You might be good in 3 years.
True.
And I believed in you.
Right.
And you believed in us. So
You know what? Actually, I know a few artists that don't have great art, but they have extreme value.
yeah.
And like what I mean by that is maybe their marketing is like crazy on point.
Exactly.
Maybe their social media is on point. Maybe they hit every convention there is and they know everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so I that's cool. Because maybe, you know, there are some artists out there that know their art is lacking or they're new, and that comes in time. Like you can't rush like that process essentially. Processes you can rush or speed along a little bit might be like your social media following. It could be going to like every convention there is. marketing in general,
meeting people.
Maybe you're like sell crazy amount of merch, you know, because we know like a few people that are doing apprenticeships, but they've been in the industry forever. And they know everyone. They've worked for big companies, and they're going to be tattooing in like a year or two, and they would be a crazy asset for any company.
They're probably not going to be that good at tattooing, but they have connections. They know people. They are a good person, you know.
What do Cam? What do you look for in a sponsor? Like if you're like, you know what, like I want to have sponsors, I want to have company support. I mean, where would you even start?
Kind of like what Marquis said, like mutual, you know.
What does that mean? Like a mutual fund?
like you know, we show each other support. Like I think like what we have with Allegory is like an ideal like situation where it's like he was saying at the convention, like we send people to them, they're sending people like, yo, go say what's up to them, go check them out, you know, like.
But let's say we're
literally trading merch.
No, I know you know Allegory's cool and they're a great company.
Like in another company,
let's say you don't know anything. I know that's hard to pretend, and then you're like, you know what? I think I want to start finding companies to work with as a sponsor. I mean, you're going to obviously start with the products you use, right?
Yeah.
Then where would you go? Like, would you try to meet them at conventions? When you hit them up on social media?
I would definitely. Well, like hit them up on social media. Show face at conventions. I think that was like super. We realized that in Philly.
Like going out of your way.
You have to go out of your way. You have to show face. Like Marquis said, just people coming up to the booth saying what's up, and then him going to check out their work. You know, like it's mutual, and that's what I would kind of want in a company too. I don't think I'd want to be sponsored by somebody who hasn't seen my tattoos in person. Like, you know, doesn't care that I use their product or not. Like I'd want a company
that cares.
That cares, yeah, that supports you as much as you support them.
What's a company you're not sponsored by that you'd like to be sponsored by?
Bishop, but that ain't happening. Anytime soon, at least.
Shooting himself down already.
But
let's say
get a DM right after this podcast.
I love Bishop products, but
let's say
sponsor older people.
Let's say I'm James from Bishop.
Yeah.
And you want a sponsorship from me, what would you say? Like we just met at a convention.
I love your product. I use your machines. I use your needles. I use your glide. Like I love everything your company does. I like your marketing. I like your branding, how you package things. You know, I'm just a huge fan.
Wow, thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, even without
who are you though?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm Cam.
Hey, I'm Cam. Yeah.
What you tell them, like, I like your
product. They're letting kids in here?
Yeah.
I thought this was 18 and older.
Where's your mentor?
Hold on, stay with me. There's a missing child at booth 118.
But no, yeah, it's just like that. Like I use your product. Like even like Marquis said, like he wants people that uses his product before even like the sponsorship is there.
No, I think you're 100% right. Like showing the love, whatever.
And I'm the type of artist that like I'm gonna use not what's given to me, but what I like using.
That's just the kind of artist Cam is. What are some tips for people looking to approach companies for sponsorship or advice that you could give them?
Confidence is key. Confidence is key. Because if you like come to me on one, I use your product, I enjoy it, and I would like to work with you. I have this platform. You know, this is my platform. It doesn't have to be Instagram. I could be on YouTube. I could be on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Right. But this is my platform, and this is what I also can provide you as the company. I also know that you are going to support me, support my endeavors, so I would love to like work together moving forward.
How was his pitch he just did?
He was almost there, but you gotta like sell yourself. Like make me think like, damn, if I don't sponsor this guy, did I fuck up? You know
I'll regret it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or at least like, you know, I don't know, just sell yourself.
Yeah.
Sell yourself, but not like a rock star, like cocky, like humble, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm Cam. I work at Borrowed Time. I've only been tattooing for a year, but I love your products. I love your needles. And in about 2 years, I'm going to be like on a whole nother level. So
right, you're an investment at this point.
Oh yeah.
That's like what
Young
you should be selling. Like, yo, get in now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I might even be like, hey, listen, like I'm surrounded by this guy, you know, and they all use you guys. And one day I would like to represent your company. Like it might be like a subtle way to flex on like who you know. But also
or even just show them your potential based off the people.
Right. And like, listen, man, like, could I show you some work? Could I show you my platform? I mean, you have a decent following. And I think it's okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, to be pretty direct about what you're after. Like, look, I'm trying, my goal.
Direct, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like I've had people at shows like, you know, like I've just given them ink and they've like, Allegory in their bio, like, oh, like, so what's up with the sponsorship? You sponsored me. I'm like, nah, bro, I didn't sponsor you. And it's uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be a dick. And I, you know, you're a cool guy, but nah, like, I didn't sponsor you. And they're like, but why? I'm like, bro, like, I just gave you the ink, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, maybe in a couple of years.
Thanks for the free stuff.
Yeah,
now
but if you're like
complain.
direct, then like I'm able to be like, you know, we're actually not sponsoring people right now, or oh, like, let me get your Instagram, and like I'll flag you in my DM so I see when you're tagging me.
Yeah.
And you know, you're involved, you're commenting on the post, you know, repost. I'm like, yo, this person like is really want to be involved with the company, with the product, and their work is getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's got to be tough. I mean, and honestly, it's awkward to ask sometimes. Like I wanted to talk to some companies about sponsorship at Philly. And it's like kind of weird, like asking for things sometimes, you know, like, hey, I want something from you. Can you give it to me?
it is.
Like on this end of it.
Like closed mouths don't get fed.
100%.
Especially in this industry.
Yeah. Thank God I was with Ricky. He's got a big fucking mouth. Bro. He's like, yo, why are you sponsoring my boy, dog?
Everybody knew the Fred like Ricky, bro. Like 1,000%.
Bro, we were just at some we were at like a FK party or something the other day, and Ricky was doing the same thing. Like he was like, "Yo, like, like
my
yo,
boy John Nelson."
Yeah, no, not for me, for other people. Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, like whatever."
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a thing, and like people keep asking us like, "Are you guys gonna make color? Whatever." And it's like eventually, but like we're staying true to our market, which is the black and gray market. Like those are the people that supported us until now. So yeah, one day, maybe not too long, but we're gonna stay true to what we are and who support us already.
Fuck so. Yeah. Yeah, you know, dude. Sometimes like with companies, I'm just hitting people up on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You know, like that Ghost company or whatever.
Yeah.
That
Ghost
did,
tattoo
like,
supply.
Trays. Dude, I just like saw that and I was like, that's sick. And I just shot him a message. I was like, yo, your product looks sick.
Yeah. I did the same thing.
Yeah, dude, sometimes like people are totally open to work with you. And it kind of goes back to the win-win we were talking about. If someone's like, hey, thanks for reaching out, I'm going to send you some product, try it out. Mm-hmm. I feel like then it is my responsibility not only to like put them on the story or like shout them out, but to at least try to generate enough business for them to pay for them sending me that out. You know, so it could be dope. Like maybe it does, you know, maybe I do a post for like a quick shout out. Maybe it hits, you know, a couple thousand people. Maybe it hits a couple 100,000 people, whatever. And like in that instance, like if I do a video, it hits 100,000. I'm guessing it did at least one sale, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. Like I paid for that. And I feel like that's like a good relationship to have. Because sometimes I'll see companies like throw out some stuff and it's not returned by the artist. And it's like, me being a business owner, these are the things I think about. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm happy I sent you the product and you like it. And I'm sure there'll be some word of mouth and maybe other people from your shop will order it, but that doesn't really make sense. Like if a company is going out of the way to do something for you, yeah, obviously be polite, thank them, shout them out, but try to spread the word a little bit and try to do it in a way that the company knows about it, you know? Because you might tell 100 people that, you know, in your town that you live in, company's not going to know about it. They might just think you're ungrateful and you didn't do anything. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, so all that goes back to the whole communication thing. Because I'll have I'm sending care packages every day all over the world.
Yeah.
And like when I contact the artist, it's not even on some, yo, like I want to sponsor you. It's like, yo, if you don't use the ink already, because I don't see you tagging us.
Right.
So I always hit you with the, yo, like I want to send you a care package.
Yeah.
I want you to send you the product first. I want you to see it. I want you to hold it. I want you to try it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Some people, like, I'll send them the product and I'll message them like 2 months later. I'm like, yo, did you ever get it? Like, yeah, I loved it. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah,
well, thank you
I've
for
heard
telling
you say
me.
that.
Yeah.
And like some people do what you said, and tag right away, and you know, so it's everyone's different. But then it goes back to like the whole communication.
It's almost just like tattoo manners. Like if a company sends you a product, and maybe you don't have a crazy platform. I know not everyone has a platform, but if I'm as a business owner see you trying, even if it's only getting like 100 views, but you're trying, that says a lot too. Like maybe it's like, hey, just got this care package, can't wait to use it. I'll use Allegory. Thanks so much, Allegory Ink. And then a week later, it's like using my new Allegory Ink. You know, and then it's like healed photo from using Allegory Ink. That's sick, right? I mean, that's like a great way to show support, even if it, you know, only 100 people see it. Like that's real. That's, you know, it's going on. It's showing, you know, your gratitude for the company, and that's like a great way to give back as an artist.
And then I see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this person's like really putting on for us right now. Anything they need, I got you. You want to come to this convention? I got you. Like, because you're supporting us, you don't have to.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. Everybody's like so different. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Just
No, you good. You good. So yeah, I think like concluding that, like really you said it, communication and like in the win-win and you know, in a respectful way, just keep bothering the companies that you want to be sponsored by. Like be a relevant name in their head, even if they don't sponsor.
Tag them and everything.
Yeah, bro, and like show the support, have good manners.
I'll remember that Instagram name. No, for real. You know what's also good? Have a good what's it called? An Avi profile picture, whatever.
Profile picture.
Even if it's not a picture of yourself, just like a memorable logo.
Like his logo.
I see the fucking castles. I know.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I know. So it's like I'll see that.
Right.
People will remember that. You remember like names and you remember images.
Yeah, I like rarely know what artists look like, but I know what their work is. We're at the convention with Cam, and Cam's like pointing everyone out, and he's like, there's that person. And I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, no, the one next to him. Oh, because I don't fucking know like what they look like or whatever. But if I saw their work, I'd be like, oh, that's this person's art, you know?
I noticed that with a lot of artists, they'll be like shy to show their face. And stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know. I like to see what the artists look like too. Yeah. It's like, who's doing these tattoos?
I think it stems down to like a lot of people want to get known for their work.
Yeah. But I also feel like it's good for like up and coming artists, because like maybe it's just this guy and he doesn't look like all the other tattooers. Yeah. But this guy looks like you. You're like, damn, he's creating this type of work. I can do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it gets deeper.
I think it's so important to market what you look like.
Yeah. Also, Instagram likes that human aspect. Like you can't just post pictures all day. Like when you post like human, like on Instagram, like it reacts differently. People see that. Like, I'm just liking fucking pictures all day, or is it actually like a person doing a tattoo? Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't got to tell you.
No, yeah. But it's tough. And it goes both ways. And we were talking about this. It's tough because it's like, what do you want to attract? And I totally understand people doing that because they want to attract people just for the art. Yeah. So I get that, but I feel like there is a point where it's like, you know, maybe this is growing, maybe we're doing, it's like, okay, you have to market what you look like.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Yeah. I need to tell you about Allegory's new Ultra Black. This stuff is dark, maybe even darker than my childhood. It is amazing for lining, shading, and even blackouts. And I know a thing or two about blacking out. You got to check this stuff out on AllegoryInk.com. Use discount code unemployable for 20% off. Again, go to AllegoryInk.com, check out their new Ultra Black, and use discount code unemployable for 20% off. I don't give a shit. Let them know. But those are the things that are kind of discouraging because like when like we work with Bishop too, and like they sent us the craziest care package ever, and it was like holy shit, like these guys are awesome, and it gets everyone excited at the shop, and you don't even have to tell anyone to post.
Yeah,
they're like thanks Bishop, and they're like posting, and it's cool, and like every time like I call Bishop, they answer and they're excited. It's not like, oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah. It's like, what's up, dude? What are you doing? What do you want to work on? Exactly. And I'm like, I have this idea. Let's do this, whatever. And I think that's really cool.
One thing I will say about them that I was preaching for the longest is they do cool shit.
Yeah,
they do artist series machines. They do those that like go like things like El Chapo, Bishop, Michelangelo.
Those like the BJ Betts ones, like hand engraved.
Yeah, they have the gold one. They have the Tupac one. They just had the ones with all the diamonds.
Yeah,
and like the proceeds went to like a little Chicanos foundation. Like they do cool shit.
Yeah,
so
that is cool.
Yeah,
I know it's like kind of dumb, but like I go crazy for that stuff because I like hype. I like drops. I like whatever. Yeah. Like I know, Kith Monday program's going on in 1 hour. Like whatever. Like it's always there.
But you want to work with a company that's doing cool stuff like that too.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I don't
keep it exciting for me.
Yeah, I don't want like to talk to you and you're like, here you get 10% off now and push to the fucking side. Yeah. Like bro. I feel like I'm a waitress and you just tip me in quarters, bro. Like I'm gonna be like, yeah, you can keep that shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't even fucking want it.
Like I'll just buy your fucking products, like whatever. Like it's tough, man, and it can be discouraging sometimes. And like it doesn't matter if you have like a crazy big following, like or not. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes it's just so detached, corporate, bro, and like everyone's numbers are public. Yeah. Like I can go on right now and be like, what is this company net in a year? I can look at your LinkedIn and see what you pay all your employees. Like the fucking money's there, bro.
Bro, it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's there.
So, but I, whatever. I'm not going to go on a crazy tangent about that.
We love Bishop.
So we talked about a lot of good things and positive things. What are like some complaints that you've had with artists that you work with or companies or things in the industry that maybe you'd like to see change or just like you want to complain about?
I got a few things. Honestly, I feel like one like customer service is a big thing. I feel like I'm saying like from artists to like the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you're charging thousands of dollars. You could be a little nice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
you could, make your clients feel a little comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like just seeing that like at conventions or in shops. Like
because they're in pain, dog. You're putting them through pain and like, it's different. Like it's different getting tattooed at like a private studio than getting tattooed like at a shop. Because then it's like a lot of stuff going on. We all have like anxiety, things like that. Like make someone feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You'll make more money in the end.
Yeah,
honestly. Mm-hmm. So other complaint I would say is like, I don't know. Some artists get real entitled.
Yeah,
like very entitled.
Yeah.
And that's like, all right. Like I've been at a convention and sold someone something and it didn't go through or something because like, you're moving around different zip codes, stuff like that. They pull
like a card or whatever?
Yeah, they pull out their phone. I have $20,000 in my account. I was like, okay, bro. I
didn't say you were broke.
Yeah.
And you can't figure out how to get it out?
Like I'm not like...
Yeah.
All right, that's fine, bro. Like I don't know. Like some people get like real entitled, and I feel like if you're an artist, you know what I'm saying, you create like great art, you know what I'm saying, but you're still like a person. You still got to be humble. You know what I'm saying? Because that goes a long way. Yeah,
I'll see some artists become better than their clients, and that is the worst. That is when you're failing. No, for real though. Like the day that you think you're fucking better than the people that are supporting your lifestyle and your clients and whatever. And, you know, some people might be like, oh, John, you're one to talk. You talk shit about your clients all the time. No, I talk shit about clients. I don't talk shit about my clients, you know?
Yeah, like our industry's clients.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just like poking fun. Like if
Exactly.
you're my client and like you can attest to this at the convention, I protect you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
even like I go out and I don't gotta tell any of this. I don't give a fuck what you guys think. But I take care of my clients. Like I'll even stand in fucking line with you and chop it up, whatever. But like that's your person, bro.
Yeah.
And like I'm making sure they're comfortable and whatever. And you know I might not respect Cam's clients or Ricky's clients, but I'm protecting my motherfucking client. You know? I might be kicking Cam's bed while he's tattooing, but I'm making sure my bed ain't getting kicked. But it's tough, man. And I think, listen, people are allowed to have those days. You know, we're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to fail. We're allowed to become arrogant, egotistical, whatever. But we're not allowed to stay in that place.
Yeah.
You know, you got to come back down. I try to surround myself with people that are not afraid to be like, yo, you're making a mistake right now. Like you're doing something wrong. Like what you just said back there came off super arrogant.
Oh, yeah.
The way you treated that person, like you might not realize it hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
You know, to like keep me in check. And like I'm allowed to make those mistakes, but like I got to fucking learn from them. And I got to come back. And like if there's a situation where like I got to mend the situation or like apologize, like I can't be bigger than that apology.
Yeah.
Even if it's to like a new tattooer, a child, an adult, a client, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Cause even like, one thing a lot of artists was telling me is like, yo, COVID humbled them so much. Cause like it's COVID, like you need your clients to make money, right? You can't tattoo them.
Yeah.
How are you making money?
You're not going to tattoo them on Zoom.
Nope. I was doing it with in the basement. So 100%.
Yeah, that's tough. You got complaints? You got complaints about artists? No. Shut the fuck up.
I one of my complaints would be like, I don't know. I've been doing conventions for a while, so like some artists get like, they're not prepared, and I feel like you gotta be prepared. Not even for like a convention, but like anything. Like you're getting paid thousands of dollars. Like you come to tattoo with me, like you gotta be prepared. Like I've been like out. And like artists are like, oh, you don't have barrier film? It's like, dog, I'm not tattooing here. You are. Why are you asking me?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Now, if you ask me to go get you some barrier film, I'll go to Razor Blade or one of those places. I'll get you some barrier film.
Yeah.
But don't be like, oh, you don't have barrier film. Like, dog, you don't have barrier film. Like
we came prepared.
No. Y'all had everything. You had a printer. It was so funny because like, all right, so we're setting up our booth. And your lights and your armrest is on our side, but I didn't know. I thought it was Ricky's. So I put it back. And then he put it back. So I put it back. He put it back. He's like, dog, this is John's stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to like clean the space up. He's like, yeah, dog, I'm not trying to put stuff in your booth. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
like we had his
John
armrest.
had his shit there before he even got there. Yeah. We had the bed. Like,
Yo, because I'm terrified. That's like one of my like biggest anxieties is like being unprepared.
Oh yeah.
Like, and when I first get in the convention, like the first thing I want to do is like go around, say what's up to friends from out of state, like see who's going to be here, whatever. But I don't. The first thing we did is we set everything up to make sure we had everything.
Yeah.
Got our bed set up, you know, if there was like a backdrop, tablecloths, like fucked with the table, put the merch out. Yeah. I even did like a little fake setup. Like, all right, barrier film, this and that, you know, make sure I have everything.
Get a case to carry any of my shit. So like the agreement was that like I packed your stuff and my stuff together. Like all I had to do was pack, and I can use his carrying case. I didn't.
Yeah, I still pack my own stuff.
Machine.
No, I mean like I packed at least 1 or 2 setups just to make sure that Cam and I like put way more needles than I thought I would need.
In case they're not hidden.
Well, I don't fucking know. Like, cause you know. Sometimes
it was my first one too. I could have fucked it up.
Yeah, sometimes you know the needle company uses there. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes you know the barrier film's there. Sometimes it's not. And sometimes you can rent a bed. Sometimes you can't. I just don't want to fuck with any of that shit. I don't want to leave my station. I don't want to go make a stencil at some other station and deal with the stencil making people. Like, I don't want to have to rely on anyone for anything. And you're right, bro. I was like seeing some like veteran artists. Like, I don't have this. And in my head, I'm like, why don't you have that? Why did you rely on anyone other than yourself?
Yo, the craziest thing is like, and the easiest thing, just get your little brother's printer, dog. Little brother's stencil printer, $200.
Yeah.
Like, because the
We had
airdrop
one of
not
those
gonna be working.
we
at the
had one of those as a backup.
Yeah,
like, so we
bro.
brought the big one and that.
No,
like,
yeah,
we
y'all
were
had the whole
ready.
shop. Yeah, had the whole shop over there. But I mean, bro,
But we all
prepare.
tattooed comfortably.
Exactly.
Like, we weren't
exactly.
worried. We weren't stressing.
You gotta limit the stress.
It is a little tough because we're booked out. We know exactly what we're doing, what to bring, what not to bring. It is tough when you don't have that. When you're like, yo, I could tattoo 50 fucking people this convention, you know? And
Even
you're
if,
like,
then
how
just
do I
bring everything?
Right, and I know you can go to the station and buy, but there have definitely been a convention. I mean, early on, I did conventions, you know, with like Phil, Skinny Charlie, all them, and we would go and like we would tattoo everyone. Like we'd be doing little $50, $100 like Pinterest bangers all day, like in a fucking assembly line, and it's like, how do you prepare for that? You know, I guess you just, bro, we were bringing like suitcases. Like Skinny had one suitcase that was only ink, only colored ink. And like they would all explode and shit.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, never fly with the ink. But you can always get the ink there.
Yeah. But you just do your best and you try to prepare, you know, as best you can. But I don't, like seeing these veteran artists, like, just I'll figure it out when I get there. It's just like, oh, hopefully.
Stressed out. Airdrop not working.
Oh, dude,
That's the worst. When that airdrop don't work, oh my God. Yeah.
I remember when that was first a thing with like iPads and shit, and you saw everyone running around the convention like, "What's the Wi-Fi password?" And at the time, I was still doing like manual hand everything, just laughing at these. You know, these guys like they can't fucking do anything because it's all off the iPad.
Like day one at the convention, stressing because we couldn't hook up to the printer.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm doing like a small tattoo that I don't even really need a stencil for. I'll just bust out like a hand stencil, and the younger kids think I'm doing magic tricks. You know, well, that's all that works. Like, but you didn't even run it through the machine. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me.
You mean with like with the pen?
Yeah, like you just put the
we brought some, like,
paper
extra
on top
sheets.
of the, you know, draw on top, the pressurized.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Carbon copy.
I ain't made one of those in a while.
What, like ever?
Yeah.
What, like in 21 years? What else,
Stencil
Cam?
printer's all right. I still like the Thermofax over it.
Yeah, it's just a bold
Thermofax is
stencil.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like that stencil kind of like wipes away a little bit quicker with the actual like ink stencil.
Meaning like the one that just prints out the stencil.
Yeah, like it does wipe away way quicker, and it's not as solid of a stencil.
Yeah.
But with the Thermofax, like off of like some stencil paper.
There's like a lot of ink though.
Yeah.
You gotta like pat it dry kind of
Yeah.
to not smudge the
And then you have to
stencil.
let that one dry for like 15 minutes. Like those ones, you can let them sit for 30 seconds and then rip it.
I'm the worst. I'll like stencil it on. I'm like, ready?
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can't.
Yeah. All right. What else? What do we miss? Do you have any questions while he's here? You want to ask your boring questions you were telling me about before?
Oh yeah, I wanted to know what kind of like got you into the industry, like from an outside perspective, like, and what's it been like being in the industry this long and not being like an artist, you know?
All right, so I'll start. What got me in the industry is my dad. Like growing up, like my dad's like heavily tattooed, so it's like cool, like having like the tattoo dad. Like I don't know. And then like it'll be kind of weird. Like he'll come home like just got a tattoo, like bleeding a little bit. You know, this is like late 90s, early 2000s. Like it's they know Saniderm.
He's got
shit.
cling wrap on him.
Yeah. But it was like always like really interesting. And then my mom has like one tattoo.
Cool.
But like on my 18th birthday, first thing I did was get my first tattoo. And I'm like, damn, this hurt a little bit, but it was kind of cool.
Right.
And then I just started getting tattooed. And then I don't know. I started getting tattooed at this shop across the street from FK, Almost Famous. And then the guys over there, they're like, yo, you go to FIU, like, can you bring our like flyers over there and like we'll give you like some discounts on some tattoos. I'm like, shit, cool.
Yeah.
Works for me. I know a lot of people. So I just wrote my name on all the flyers and I would give them out on campus and be like, yo, y'all like bring these flyers like back.
Yeah.
So
with my name on it.
With my name on it, yeah.
Right.
So it was like
Introduction to marketing right there.
bro, yeah. And I'm going to school for marketing at the same time, which is why they're like, yo, just bring our flyers.
Yeah.
And it was at a time where Inkaholics was getting big.
Yeah.
So they would like go to our school and they would fucking go in like the main building and set up a table, like a big table, like a convention table. And they'd be like, oh, sign up for a free $2,000 tattoo. So they would get the list of like everybody, like phone numbers, emails and whatnot. Then they'll send those blasts about like $5, $5, you know, palm size tattoo or some shit. And I did it like one time. I was like, yeah, this is not like the first tattoo shop that I went to. And then I just started getting tattooed more. And towards like the end of college, like my last year, I kept changing my major from like international business because that was boring. I failed accounting like 3 times. 3 times in a row. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Yeah. So I changed like public relations. And then like I always like follow tattooers on Instagram. So then I seen this guy post that he was at the FK like warehouse. I'm like, I've never seen a machine that looks like that.
Right. Like a dildo.
Yeah. It was like, what the fuck? But it was like building them. And I'm like, okay, this looks cool. Like I'm getting tattooed all the time and I'm not by this. Like I've got, at that point I've known I've got tattooed with like Bishop Thunder.
Yes.
Not Bishop Thunder, Cheyenne Thunder, the longer one. Oh, yeah. And I was tattooed by like Dan Cuban, like a Michelangelo.
I forgot about that machine.
Yeah. That real chunky Cheyenne. Yeah. And then I was on Indeed and I seen FK Irons. I was like, oh, is this the company that I saw on Instagram like a couple weeks ago? So I went and I applied. Bro, I went to the interview in a suit. They're like, bro, you're like really overdressed for this. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, you know, you're in college. You're just like trying to get whatever. Yeah. And then it was so when I was in school, I left marketing to do public relations, but I had all these marketing classes and credits already. So I'm like, fuck, what can I do? And then I got like certified in social media marketing and analytics.
Nice.
So when I went there, it was just like customer service interview. And they were like, oh, you got certified in this? We actually need someone to do this because I guess their guy was quitting. So I went customer service for like a couple weeks, like a month maybe. Learned all the machines and shit, and then just threw me in marketing. And then 2 weeks later, I was like at a fucking convention. I was my first convention was Motor City in Detroit.
Was that overwhelming?
Nah, it was like, it wasn't overwhelming. It was fun.
Did you just have to, was it as like, as much responsibility as you have now, or was it a little
It
less
wasn't,
back
no, because back then my job was strictly like social media.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like stressful at all, you know what I'm saying? Because the person that trained me, Jorge Gonzalez, is the guy I used to work with before, he like made it look easy.
Cool.
So like, and then like you're working for this company, you know what I'm saying? You can't be fucking up. Yeah. So I don't know. It was like really fun. I got to meet the artists. I get to get tattooed and travel. Like a month later, I was in Amsterdam. And like, yo, that was crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, like I need a passport. They're like, you don't have a passport? Bomb. Got me a passport. A week later, I'm in Amsterdam working for this company for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So, but Amsterdam's crazy because we get there, we're in this whole other country and none of our shit gets through customs.
Oh, nothing. Wow.
So I'm like, damn, like, this guy is stressed out, the guy I'm there with, and I'm like, shit, I'm in Amsterdam. I'm about to go to these dispensaries. Like, I don't know about you.
While you figure this shit out.
Yeah. I'm about to get lit. So it was like traveling around. We flew to Amsterdam, then we went to Rotterdam.
Did you guys figure it out eventually?
All right, so I figured it out. And I don't know, it kind of gave me the confidence.
So you went, you got right. And then you figure it out.
So like, you know, walk around. I'm like trying to spend my US dollars. Like, no, euro. So gotta go get the euros and shit. But yeah, so at the convention, like, it was only my second convention, and it was a little scary because it was like I'm in Europe. in this country. No one's like, they speak English when you speak English to them, but they don't want to. They're speaking like all their other languages, and what they speak in the Netherlands, Dutch.
Yeah.
So it's in like this old like tobacco factory, like all rustic and
The
like
convention?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like now that would be so cool, but back then I'm like, this is crazy, like crazy mohawks, like real like punk, like very like punk, and
because they're into like that grunge shit over there.
yeah. So convention guys like FKR is like down here in the basement. We went down to this like second level, like all concrete, like scary looking. That's where all like distributors were. And they're like, yo, where's the product? I'm like, I don't got it. They're like, well, you're supposed to have the product.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. So I'm just recording because my guy Nas, like we went the first day. He was a little stressed out about it. So he's like, yo, I'm going to go back to the hotel, figure stuff out with UPS. I need you to stay here and film.
About the customs thing.
About the custom, yeah. So I'm like filming, getting content, blah, 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 blah. And like I'm meeting people like, oh, you have on FKR shirt. Where's your booth?
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, I'm sorry. Like, we don't have a booth.
It's in customs.
Yeah. But if you want,
it's on the border.
I'll take your name. I'll take your address. I'll take your phone number. When I get back home, I'll send you an invoice for whatever products you want, free shipping, and I'll give you a discount on it. Okay. And they're like, cool. I'm not asking for none of your card information. I'm just asking for your contact. Yeah. I send you the invoice. You pay it if you want, you pay it if you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But while I'm in the basement and I met this guy, I think the company over there is like, not Tattoo Logic, like Tattoo World, something like a distributor in Amsterdam. And I'm like, yo, this happened. All our stuff got stuck in customs. And he's like, all right, cool. I will pay for it to get out of customs and I'll buy the whole stock. So then like we brought it back to them and they're of course like, oh, but you guys didn't, go to the convention. We're like, yeah, but like you just sold out of your whole stock. You pleased the distributor.
Right.
Like we turned the loss into a win. You know what I'm saying?
How did he get it out of customs?
I mean, everyone has stuff with customs in their countries or whatever. And that's in the Netherlands, It's not that it couldn't get out of customs, but shit takes time to clear.
Gotcha.
So, you're actually from the Netherlands and I have this business, push it through, you know what I'm saying? Get it faster. And yeah.
So you just sold it all in one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was that like, and I didn't tell them, like we didn't tell them, that's a whole other story. Like they just got their sale, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't take the credit for it.
How was it? Sold everything.
Yeah.
Sold out.
They knew that we didn't have the booth, but I know some people always like, butthurt or whatever, but it's like, we're there making it happen, bro. Yeah. You can't it's
not a loss.
Can't please everybody. Yeah. It's not our fault it didn't get through customs. You still made like 30 grand, 40 grand. Like just be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably the best way that could have went.
Yeah. We either go home with nothing or you get this money and you please the distributor. So yeah. And after that, like it was just like it started just getting.
It just started getting to the roll after that.
Yeah. Because like now conventions are like easy.
Yeah.
Before, not so easy.
Yeah, you were lit at the anime one.
When? Oh yeah, at that convention, yeah, because like, bro, it
was slower.
Yeah,
but I can see like you just super comfortable. Like,
yeah, and like doing conventions with Allegory is a lot different. Like they spare no expense.
Yeah,
and it makes things so much easier when you're not like just being cheap and cutting corners. Yeah. Like you can provide the quality. We can send the beds. We can send the trays. We can send as much ink as we want, samples, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the owners are there.
It shows, yeah.
Yeah. So like after this last convention, we had a whole like breakdown of what we want to add. We're not having an airdrop problem anymore. We bought a hotspot. Yeah. Airdrop problem is done. Everybody has Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Like, just making it better.
Damn,
and not trying to just cut corners.
Connect to Wi-Fi while I was there.
I have Verizon, so I don't care.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. People have like AT&T. That's your problem. Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
You have anything else?
No, I was just wondering how he got into the industry.
Nice.
You answered that.
Anything else you wanted to bring up? That we didn't?
Not really. I had a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So like, what is your advice for like opening and like running a successful tattoo shop?
Don't.
No. Everybody says don't do it.
No. No, I like stuff like that, and it was a challenge. Where I really started to learn the answer, I guess, to that question was 2 years into opening Borrowed Time, where I realized that it would take way more than just being an artist to run a shop, you know, and I had to be a business owner. And then being an artist, I had to be both and try to not let them like butt heads, essentially. Because I have to, you know, be two people while I'm here. I have to be, you know, a tattoo artist and like in the trenches with the guys. And then I also have to be the business owner, and I have to provide not only like a safe atmosphere, but a strong atmosphere that everyone can count on. And the best place for me to start was thinking about all the previous shops I had worked at and things I liked and things I didn't like. And one thing that I really liked was knowing my job was secure and that the owner could like figure anything out. So I was like, oh, and I wasn't that person. I was like, well, how do I become that person? You know, I liked shops that reinvested in the shop. You know what I mean? And like provided kind of what you're saying that Allegory does, like tried not to spare any expense, you know, for the artist, like anything. And it's nice being an artist because I can kind of know like what people want. And what I'll typically do is I'll look at my station and be like, what do I want? And am I providing that for everyone, or at least the ability? And like one small example is like, you know, we installed those like overhead lights and I was like, yo, I really like this. Almost like a dentist light. And then, you know, I went around to everyone and I'm like, hey, does anyone want this? Like, we'll get them, we'll install them, and try to just keep that going. Do you have everything you're comfortable with? Understanding that other people might tattoo different than me. I like to use a station. Some people like trays. Like, does anyone need a tray? Is there a tray you like? We'll look into it. And then also making sure I won't go into every detail, but like you're building your system and your structure. And then I had to get involved in the numbers, which I tried to avoid that for as long as possible. But that's the backbone of the shop, right? So like now that we're opening another shop and whatever, I feel comfortable enough in the system to duplicate. But I wasn't going to duplicate until I felt comfortable in the system. And like even some things were changing with the new shop that I've learned from this shop. But it was tough, man. And I think to kind of put it in a simple answer is I started getting close with other business owners that had what I wanted, even if it wasn't in the industry. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Networking in that sense to get, you know, connections and advice that they have. Like even simple things like an accountant or a lawyer or a social media manager, you know, building on that, I'm constantly talking to other shop owners to get ideas for them or like see what they like. You know, at this point, sometimes I can give them ideas, but surrounding myself like with people that I wanted to be like. And another super important thing is like being open-minded to the voices of the artists here and like constantly listening for that. Whether we have like a little meeting or whether it's just, you know, random whispers and shop talk in here, being attentive. You know, sometimes I just walk around at the end of the day to like see, can we improve? Is there a corner of the shop that needs to be tightened up? What solution could we provide with that? Are there any problems going on? But it is kind of like a daily maintenance thing and just accepting that I'm going to have to work more than everyone else. If you're not, in my opinion, if you're not working more than everyone else, like you're not being a good business owner. You're not putting the necessary time in to provide, you know, at least the business that I want to provide. And you're not setting a good example for the people you work for or work for you or with you, however you look at it, you know? But it's tough. Like never thinking like, yo, I got this figured out. You know, like I gotta constantly improve. I got to hear new ideas, even from the young guys, like even from Cam. Like maybe I'll have, you know, him look at something. What do you think about this? It's kind of a clean slate perspective. It's tough though.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I always hear people say like, oh, I hate working at the shop. The owner's never here. Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's not like that community or that like cohesion and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and I'm a little nervous with like the new shop and like spreading out and growing because I like being present. Mm-hmm. So I want to still do that. I have seen some buddies that are shop owners kind of remove themselves a little bit, like whether they set up managers at shops or I guess extensions of them. But I don't want to like lose the feel we have. You know, like I know everyone in here on a personal level. I feel like I'm close enough where if a problem or a good idea come up, like I'm close enough that I can put action or that into effect pretty quickly. You know, like I would hate it if this problem was just going on for like weeks or months. I'm not even aware of it because maybe I'm not present and I can't fix it or apply some kind of solution. So it'll definitely be a learning experience with, you know, spreading out, opening new shops, and managing that. But, you know, we'll see. New challenges.
It'll be dope. It'll be dope. Just got to find the balance for real. So,
yeah.
I still got to see that shop too.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Okay.
It's close. I'm being kind of fucking particular about stuff, but whatever. You want to sign us off? What? I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
I want to give a huge
Rock,
thanks.
paper, scissors, shoot. All right, cool. Leave that in.
I want to give a huge thanks to Marquis for coming out and joining us on today's episode. It was a pleasure. Talked about a lot of good industry things and had a good time.
Man.
I had a great time too.
Hell yeah.
It was dope, and hopefully I can come on again.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you crushed it. That was